I recently saw a quote that I think could be relevant to Trading 212's exact situation. There is a danger of changing too much in the search for perfection. That quote actually came from Agnetha Foltskog, one of the A's of ABBA. I don't think that's necessarily relevant, but I wanted to tell you anyway. The question is, when it comes to that quote, is that what's happening with Trading 212? I don't know what sort of hours their development team are working, but it seems like every time I log in, things are in different places, new features pop up, or they're offering 4-star getaways to Barbados on a brand new tab. Okay, that last one never happened, but at this rate it genuinely could be in a future update, especially as they seem to change things after we mentioned them in our videos. Trading 212 have been an extremely popular platform in the online investing space for a number of years now, offering low-cost investing with zero account fees and no trading commissions. But as we're starting to see more and more platforms adopt this approach, it seems like Trading 212 are constantly tweaking things to try and separate themselves from the pack, and to try and improve their bottom line as well. Less than 3 months ago, we did an update video on how to use the Trading 212 app due to all of the recent changes, and even since then, there are about 10 new things that are totally different when you log in. In fact, in the time between me scripting this video and recording it, they've introduced more changes, and there are talks of some changes rolling back as well. I genuinely can't even keep up. For a platform that prides itself on making investing simple and accessible for all levels of investors, is this amount of tinkering necessary? Or is it starting to make the platform feel a little bit more complicated than intended? As much as people love new features, they also love consistency and simplicity. You could argue that none of this is relevant as long as the product is still a good one, and that's one of the main questions I'm looking to answer today. Should you use Trading 212 in 2026? I'm going to run you through everything Trading 212 has to offer at the time of recording, and whether they're still a leading option, or if they've been overtaken by the wealth of competitors that have been making major changes in order to compete. One thing that Trading 212 haven't changed for a while is the account types that they offer. There's been talks of a Trading 212 SIP, or self-invested personal pension, and the community has been on their back about it for a long time. They still insist that they're working on a SIP and that it will be available in the future, but for now, no official announcement has been made, and there are reports that the FCA is preventing them from launching a SIP as things stand. So if you're looking for a provider that offers pension products, you'll either have to keep waiting or opt for another platform for now. As for their other accounts, you can open a stocks and shares ISA, general investing account, cash ISA, and a CFD account. So nothing new here, but a well-rounded offering nonetheless. There's currently no mention of them offering a lifetime ISA, or any junior accounts at the time of recording, but there are some other great cost-effective options in this space already, and the demand in these areas isn't too high, so maybe that's just not something that they're bothered about going into. And going back to what I said about trying to change too much, sometimes it's better to just do a few things really well than try and spread yourself too thin. So if you look at it like that, it might be a good thing that they're not trying to offer every account type possible. Since the beginning, Trading 212 have always proudly offered zero commission investing with no account fees to pay, making them one of the cheapest investment platforms on the market, even in 2026 when a lot more of these cost-efficient platforms are popping up. They also still offer free fractional shares to new customers. We don't include bonuses or affiliate links in our reviews, but I will link to our offers page in the description below, so you can see Trading 212's offer as well as all of their competitors' offers in one place. We'll look at Trading 212's stocks and shares ISA and general investing account first, as this is the account that has seen the most changes as of late, but also has the most features for you to sink your teeth into as well. Both the stocks and shares ISA and general investing account operate almost the exact same, so for the sake of your time, we'll just talk about them both together. But if you're not in the UK, you'll only see the general investing account called Invest. Seeing as Trading 212 change their app so frequently, what you see in my app might not be the same as what you see in yours. But even so, that won't change what you can do or how you can use their app. So in the grand scheme of things, it shouldn't affect how we review them. The first thing you'll see when opening up the app is your homepage, which shows you your investments and a little chart of their performance, how much spare cash you have in your account, and how much ISA allowance you have left, if you're using the stocks and shares account. Remember though that this ISA allowance is only based on your Trading 212 deposits, so if you deposit elsewhere in the same tax year, Trading 212 won't know that your limit is actually lower than it says. So this can be useful, but it can also be misleading if you use more than one ISA, which many people do these days since the 2024 rule changes. It's worth noting that, as far as we're aware, every other platform works in this exact same way. So it's not a negative against Trading 212, just something to be wary of. Expanding the cash widget allows you to make a quick deposit, or just look at how much interest you've received if you've enabled the Earn Interest on Cash feature, which, if you're wondering, you can do by clicking here, then scrolling down. Basically, by letting them hold your money inside low-risk investment assets, you can gain interest on any cash that might just be sitting uninvested in your account. But do be warned that this money is not protected in the same way that regular cash is, as it is held in an investment product. It might be a low-risk investment, but it's still an investment. As you can see, I'm making stonks on the £1 and 21p that I currently haven't accounted for. I see a lot of people saying that you can get around the new cash ISA limit changes by holding money like this, but firstly, your money isn't protected in the same way, so that's potentially bad. But secondly, the government are putting a firm stop to this loophole by adding potential charges and taxes to those attempting to use their investment accounts as cash or cash-like savings alternatives. So for some people, rule changes have made this less useful, but for everyone else, you shouldn't really have been doing this anyway, so perhaps no major impact. In our last Trading 212 video, we highlighted the changes that were made to the way you searched for investments, specifically on desktops, so 1 second while I change over to my PC. The mobile app was and still is a nice and easy experience, but for some reason they changed the way you access all of the search filters on desktop. You had to click onto the search bar at the top, but that didn't take you to a search bar. It took you to the full list of filters and investments, allowing you to sort by industry, sector, region, and it had a search bar at the top that actually worked like a search bar. It was pretty counterintuitive and made the whole experience feel a bit confusing. However, they have since changed this, so their full list of investments now has its own tab at the top of the app. If you're strictly a mobile user, then this has always been the case. The tab next to your portfolio just took you straight to a list of investments and filters with the search bar sitting pretty at the top. I still feel like this tab is optimized predominantly for mobile browsing, as on there you can scroll down and see lists of various filters which allow you to access the asset you're looking for quickly. On the desktop, however, all of those filters are moved to the left-hand side in one big list. And don't get me wrong, this isn't exactly difficult to navigate, but it's just a lot of information crammed into this sidebar, and it makes finding exactly what you might want a little more difficult. For example, if you wanted to browse all of their available stocks and ETFs, you need to scroll all the way down to the bottom here. That is very nitpicky though. The switch to put all of these filters back under their own tab is a very welcome one, and does enhance the user experience greatly. In terms of sticking to their aim of making your investing experience both easy and accessible, I think these changes do live up to this. You have a wide range of filters at your disposal in a place that actually makes sense now. You also have a social tab at the bottom, which is available in all of their account types, and this allows you to stay up to date with the latest news, interact with communities, and look at pies that other people have created. And then the menu icon next to it lets you access a bunch of different learning resources, look at your history, move money between accounts, and more. For many users, this is just bloat that doesn't really add anything, but it is there, and I thought it was really worth mentioning because, let's be honest, this probably exists to tempt you to be a more active trader, which would lead to Trading 212 earning more money. The more trades you make, the more chance they have to earn money from FX fees or bid-ask spreads. All things considered, a cash ISA is a cash ISA, right? And Trading 212's is no different. Their interest rates are okay at the time of recording and will go up and down in future. Also, Trading 212 have a boosted rate which you can only access if you're a new customer. Previously, all customers got the same market-leading interest rate, but that isn't the case anymore. We already published a video previously criticising their cash ISA changes, but the too long didn't watch is basically a breakdown of how their interest rates are no longer the best for new or existing customers. And even their boosted rate for new customers has gotten worse as time goes on. For example, again at the time of recording, the boosted rate only applies to new cash deposits that you've deposited in the current tax year. Transfers and future tax year deposits, etc. do not apply if you're still within the 12-month boosted rate window. So they've gradually been making things worse, and we suspect further changes are to come. The good news though is that Trading 212's Cash ISA is fully flexible, meaning if you wanted to, you could withdraw some money, then put the same amount of money back in the same tax year, and you wouldn't lose any of your annual ISA allowance. And their rates are competitive, despite not being the best on the market at this time. But Cash ISA aside, Trading 212 have some other things that are really worth shouting about, and are potentially very underrated. Not many investing platforms offer their own debit card, but Trading 212 do, and it's something we've given them credit for in the past. Or should I say, given them debit for.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It gives you all the functionality of a normal card. You can use it either physically or virtually via Apple or Google Pay, and you use it via Trading 212's Invest account. You can access your entire transaction history through the Invest account, and it has its own little section at the bottom here. Currently, you can get 0.5% cashback up to £15 a month when you spend using this card, and there is a 0% FX fee as well, making it a really good option if you want to spend abroad. The exchange rate they use is also the true interbank rate, rather than a marked up rate that many other banks will sneakily use. Seeing as the entire card operates within the Invest account, you have both a main pot, which is used for holding money that you intend to invest, and a spending pot, which, as you can imagine, is what your card uses when you pay for something. Funnily enough, the first time I tried to get money out using the card, I didn't actually realise that there were two pots, so I was just stood at the ATM for ages before I figured it out, but that's definitely on me. It's not exactly something hard to understand. They also introduced an Invest Spare Change and Cashback feature, which I had seen other more modern banks like Monzo doing before, so it's good to know that they're consistently adding new features to the card to make it more competitive. These two features are easy to use, but you can only invest the spare money inside the Invest account, meaning any returns you may make will not be free from capital gains or dividend tax, but it is a great feature anyway. All of these features make the card quite an appealing option, at least in our opinion, and even though it might seem like a lot of features crammed into a small space, it's actually dead simple to use, especially as the virtual card can be used for free, and you can get a physical one for just under £5, which can then easily be paid for via the cashback offer. Finally, if CFDs are your thing, then they're there as an option, but we won't go into detail about what the account has to offer, because it is just glorified gambling, and no CFD account is a good choice for sensible, long-term investors. CFDs are where Trading 212 actually makes the vast majority of their revenue, and unfortunately we are seeing CFDs being pushed a little more heavily via their regular investing accounts these days. For example, CFDs will show up in your watch list by default within your Stocks and Shares ISA or Invest account, and will also appear in the search bar when you search for certain assets. Then you'll get prompted to either sign up for or start trading via the CFD account if you click on them. I guess this is the trade-off when using what's basically the cheapest investment account on the market. So overall, should you use Trading 212 in 2026? Well, firstly, please remember that this is just our opinion here at Financial Interest, and what's right for you might be different to what's right for someone else. But on the long-term investing front, we believe Trading 212 are still pretty unrivaled when it comes to buying shares and ETFs. If cost effectiveness is what you're looking for in this area, then they really can't be beaten. The app is maybe not the absolute easiest to use, with pies certainly being a confusing point for many beginners, but it's still one of the best apps on the market. Just remember to ignore the prompts to trade CFDs. They also have one of the fastest withdrawal times of any platform we've tested, as even though they say that withdrawals are processed within 3 business days, we found that the money often lands in our account within 1 working day, and even on the same day in a lot of cases. When it comes to the Cash ISA, if maxing out the interest is your priority, or you don't want to have to switch banks or providers repeatedly, the Trading 212 Cash ISA is potentially not worth opting for at the moment. It is great, but it's not market leading like it once was. And if you need a SIP or any junior accounts, or even a business account, then Trading 212 can't help you there. Whether you should use it is completely up to you, but overall, I think it's great. It's accessible, simple, and cheap. Anyway, I'm off to suggest that they include a travel agents tab in the next update, so wish me luck.